Now, by Vermont standards, this is a warm and pleasant afternoon. So thank you all very much for coming out. You know, about a year ago, Jane and I attended an inauguration in Washington, D.C. And let me tell you, today's inauguration is a lot more fun. Today, we're here to thank Mayor Bill de Blasio for leading this city in making it one of the most progressive cities in the United States of America. And we're here to wish him and the First Lady and his entire administration the very best of luck as they begin their second term. You know, my wife, Jane, and I both grew up in Brooklyn. You all know where Brooklyn is. So it is a great honor and a special honor for us to be here today with all of you. As Mayor de Blasio takes the oath of office for a second term, he knows, you know, and I know that we are living in a very unusual moment in American history. At a time when the United States remains the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all of its people, we have a government in Washington that has tried to throw 32 million people off of the health care they have. At a time when we have a massive and growing level of income and wealth inequality, we have a government in Washington which has just provided the billionaire class with hundreds of billions of dollars in tax breaks while raising taxes on millions of working-class families. At a time when the entire planet is struggling with the devastating impact of climate change, we have a government in Washington which is eviscerating environmental legislation and making us more dependent on fossil fuel and not less. At a time when millions of working-class kids in Vermont, in New York, and all over this country are struggling to figure out how they can afford to get a college education in a changing economy, we've got a government in Washington making it harder, not easier, for those kids to get a higher education. For decades, as everyone here knows, people in every region of our country have fought as hard as we can, and some have gone to jail and some have died, to end discrimination based on the color of one's skin, or one's religion, or one's country of origin, or one's gender or sexual orientation. But now we have an administration in Washington which, instead of bringing us together, is trying to divide us up to appeal to our very worst prejudices. That is the bad news. But I am very happy to say that there is also a lot of good news in our country, and we are witnessing some of that good news today. In this city, the largest city in our country, the people of New York, under Bill de Blasio, have chosen to move government in a very different direction than what we're seeing in Washington. Instead of pandering to billionaires, we have a government here which has chosen to listen to the needs of working families. While many politicians don't even talk about the crisis of child care, the de Blasio administration has taken a major and important step forward in leading this country toward universal pre-K education. While there is a lot of work to be done here and across the country in terms of affordable housing, the de Blasio administration has made an important step forward in terms of rent stabilization. And I'll tell you this, that in Vermont and all across this country, we have a horrific epidemic in terms of opioid and heroin addiction. And under this administration and under the leadership of Chirlane McCray, this city has taken major steps forward to opening the door for mental health treatment to all people, regardless of their income. And the issues go on and on and on. Criminal justice, bringing the police into the communities. Immigration reform, and telling the 800,000 young people today who are terrified about losing their legal status and being subjected to deportation that in this city, at least, they are safe. And the bottom line is that what Mayor de Blasio and his administration understand is that in this country, in the home of Ellis Island, our job is to bring people together with love and compassion and to end the divisions and the attacks that are taking place.